Hi guys, it's Mary. Welcome back. Today we are going to do the first, maybe there will be more, SydneyGrace looks. I wanted to do a whole month of this, but I'm having a little bit of an issue that maybe you can help me out, help me understand how we're going to go forward from here. I'm going to do this peachy look, and then you'll get to see what else I used on my face. I'm going to be talking, of course, yammering about stuff that has nothing to do with anything. If you're game and up for that, then just keep watching. I was picking out some products and I noticed that pretty much everything I have here is more on the affordable end, except for one thing that you can't get. And I'm sorry, but I just really want to use my Lancome bronzer. I'm like, oh, I miss you, and I never get to use it on camera because you can't buy it anymore. So I'm gonna use it today. You just have to know that you can't buy that yet. I'm gonna go ahead and run this right here too. I don't know how this is gonna go. I picked out everything for my first look, okay, because we talked about this. We were gonna do SydneyGrace, an entire month of SydneyGrace, and I really wanna do that. However, I also don't want you to be mad at me. So why am I saying that? Because the shades I picked out, they're in my little SydneyGrace palette here. I'm wearing my peachy shirt today, so I wanted to get a peachy kind of look going on, right? But only this one can you go there and buy. So it reached out to Heather and I told her, you know, we were wanting to do this but I mean, what am I gonna do? Because I'd be like, okay, so here's what I'm using. Oh, sorry, they don't have that anymore. Oops, sorry, I don't have that one anymore. She gave me for this look some shades that are comparable, but do we still want to do a whole month of SydneyGrace looks if I am using shades you can't get?
You will have to let me know. Should we just focus on palettes and not singles? I don't want to have to keep going to Heather every single time and saying, what shade closely matches this discontinued shade, you know? And now let's rejoin the video where, for no apparent logical reason, I am doing 70s commercial jingles, seemingly because I think SydneyGrace eyeshadows are good.
Good, good. That's what SydneyGrace is, good. Do you guys remember that soup commercial? Good, good. That's what Campbell soup is, good. I know, let's get started on jingles now. I don't know why I just thought of Kennel Ration. Every time we talk about old commercials, I think Kennel Ration pops up in my head. It goes, my dog's better than your dog, my dog's better than yours, my dog's better because he eats Kennel Ration, my dog's better than yours. Something like that, right? I'm going to start out with my E35 and I'm going to come into Drift. And Drift is a color that I like to use all over from the crease upward to give my eye some slip. It would remind you of MAC Blanc type. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put that up here because my lids is tacky and I don't want to drag my eyelids all over the place while I'm blending shadows into the crease. So I'm just patting that in there. What about, I'd love to be an Oscar Mayer wiener. That is what I truly like to be. Cause if I was an Oscar Mayer wiener, everyone would be in love with me. Why is that? Or the other one by Oscar Mayer. What was that one? That was my bologna has a first name, it's O-S-E-A-R. My bologna has a second name, it's M-A-Y-E-R. I love to eat it every day. If you ask me why, I'll say, cause Oscar Mayer has a way with B-O-L-O-G-N-A. How's that? Yeah, so many good ones. Right? I love to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I like to buy the world a Coke, right? Or what about Dr. Pepper? I'm a pepper, you're a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? Or sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Almond always got nuts, mounds don't. Now I'm taking my E25 and I'm coming into this shade right here called Princess.
Heather said that Princess is a beast to press, and that's why she stopped making it. She couldn't give me a similar shade, but I found that in my own collection, the shade called Adore Me can pass. These two, they swatch nothing alike, but blended lightly with a brush like my E35, it can be used.
And sorry, for sure, they don't have Princess anymore. So I'm going to take Princess, then I'm just going to kind of swipe that right here into and around that orbit bone, like I usually do. And make sure I've got that up kind of high, because I don't want to lose that in any other colors that we have. What other commercials can we think of? What about "You deserve a break today"? Right, what is that? So get up and get away to McDonald's. Is that right? Was it McDonald's? So many great commercial songs and jingles, right? Ho, 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 Green Giant. Nowadays, it would all be about something else, right? Probably some nasty thing that Green Giant has, right? They would try to use that in some way to sell you green beans. I don't know. Anyway, a little less talk and a little more action. I'll tell you what, these kinds of looks that I'm doing lately really are giving me fall vibes. I must want fall to come pretty bad. And I want to go to Brown County. I think it's open, but I don't know. Things just don't feel the same. I do have a video though on Brown County, Indiana, that I shot a couple of years ago, I think, and I'm just trying to make sure I've got those even. Spending a little bit too much time doing it too, but I'm just lightly touching this and building it up slowly. I don't want you to think this shade doesn't have pigment. I just want to build it up slowly. I'm probably gonna have to go watch my own video just to feel like happy. I don't know why this popped in my head, but I was remembering the other day. And Cowgirl Cat was also talking not that long ago in the comments about horses. She has horses. How many of you have ever rode horse? I'm going to take my E35 and I'm going to come into this shade right here. It's a pressed pigment called Blushing Peach. Now, some of you may have this because I think that it was in the new Christmas and July sales. I think this and that shade, maybe this one. If you got these in the Christmas and July sale, then maybe you're in luck and you are going to be able to do this if you want. These shades actually work the best with your finger because they're pressed pigments, but I'm going to go in first with this brush and just lay a little bit down. And then I'll show you how using your finger can really intensify that. I'm just going to put that right here. It's just in the middle. That's a nice little shine of color right there. So Cowgirl Cat, she has horses, right? That reminded me of the only time that I ever rode a horse. Now I cleaned that off and I'm going to come in lightly to the shade that was next to it, and it's called Serendipity. And I'm just going to work it right here on the inner corner, right next to it. See, so it kind of lightens that up a little bit. Well, I'm gonna punch it in a second. You just watch, because you know me. I'm not gonna just be subtle. It's just not who I am. Maybe one day, but not today. That day ain't today. So now I'm gonna take my ring finger and I'm gonna come into Blushing Peach and tap. Yeah, that's more like it, baby. That's more like it. And because it's a pressed pigment, I'm getting fallout from doing that on my face. Hence why we are doing the makeup last. When I was in my 20s, me and my brother and a couple other people, we go to Brown County and you can, like, what, rent horses? I guess that's what you're doing. You're renting a horse to go on a trail. Now I'm going to do the same thing, but with my pinky to Serendipity. So we, pay our money to ride the horses, and I am scared. Okay, because I just know that this horse is going to leave the trail. I will forever be lost in Brown County State Park. Me and the horse, of course. I don't know if it's an instructor, but you know, the person from the park who goes with you on these adventures assures me, of course, that, you know, this horse is not going to leave the trail. They walk these trails all day long, every day of their lives. Poor horses. I'm going to get my E46 and come into Serendipity too. I want to really concentrate that here. Anyway, these horses are not going to leave the trail. They do what they're supposed to do. You know, they always stay there. And you know where I'm going with this, right? So we're riding on this trail, and I'm clowning around like I always do with my brother or whatnot. And I don't know what this horse's problem is, that it can't let me know that there's a branch hanging down in... But I got my head turned. I'm talking to my brother, and does he say, "Watch out! Watch out, mare! There's a branch! Boom!" No, he does not. I'm going to take my E36 and come into Peach Fuzz right here. Just swirling around in there. That's so fun. And we're going to work it where? You know where. I do this all the time. We're going to come right here on the outside of my eye, and I'm just going to tap around. Tap, tap, tap. Giving some dimension right here on the outside of my eye. Woohoo! And I don't want to keep sounding like a broken record, but this is one of my favorite brushes because it lets me slowly build up on the outside of my eye a color without causing too much drama to all these wrinkles and stuff, moving them around. So I can just slowly darken this up and bring that right in there into the crease. Can't help it, guys. I feel like Bob Ross every time I talk about this stuff.
If you want this shade to have more pigment, use the E25 or don't come over the top of Blushing Peach with it.
It's just a hint darker out here. How about that? Anyway, so yeah, we're riding on horses, and I'm turned around like I shouldn't be, of course, talking to people behind me, because everybody wants to know. They're hanging on to their horses for dear life because I might say something just really profound. And when I turn back around, there's a branch there. Bam! I'm surprised it didn't knock me off the horse, to tell you the truth. I mean, but that hurt. Of course, my brother is laughing. And I turned around. When I did, I pulled the reins of the horse. And this horse is supposed to stay on the trail, right? But no, it didn't. So we're like going down a hill. And I'm like, ah! Everywhere I go, there's mayhem. That's my horse story, Cowgirl Cat. I'm going to come to your house. You're going to teach me how to ride. I'll bring my cowgirl hat and my chaps and my damn post boots. No, I'm not going to do that. I'll probably never be able to get on a horse again. I don't know. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to limit to myself. This time last year, I didn't think that I would feel as good as I do now. So, but don't you just know that instructor? I mean, he just said that these horses don't leave the trail. You're completely safe. Don't worry. And same girl then. Making an escape with the horse on the trail. I'm not safe. Help! We're going to skip on into makeup. Then we'll come back to this. Like I said, almost everything I have here in front of me, I think it all is except for a lipstick and my bronzer, which are Lancome, is drugstore. Here we go. This is that Revlon PhotoReady primer that I love, that's kind of silicone-y. And I like to just put it mainly over my pores, but it does provide a little slippage here for the rest of my face. But I put the bulk of it right here in the middle of my face. It does a pretty good job of blurring pores. I'm just going to press it in. I'm going to use my Candid mixture. I like to take the original Candid, and I wear this in, I don't know. What do I wear that in? 130. 130 also in the Glow. I don't like the Glow, but I do like it mixed with the regular, which I do love. I'm going to put just a tiny bit more. I love this foundation. I keep forgetting to wear my drugstore foundations because, you know, if you're going to let something go to waste, for me it's going to be the drugstore, you know, because I can replace that easily. It's not going to be my Lancome or my YSL or whatever. So you guys see me using my high-end foundations a lot more, but I gotta tell you, I am in love with the Candid foundation at the drugstore. It is really good. So I think it even made one of my top 5. So yeah, here we go, blending it in. Are you ready, Freddy? I have said that my whole life. Are you ready, Freddy? I remember when I first went to work at this one hospital, they had like old doctors set in their ways. The radiologists at this hospital were my age, okay? I felt like a complete loser once the radiologists started coming out my age. I'm just an x-ray tech, and they are like my age and radiologists. So when I went to work at this hospital, I didn't realize that there was a radiologist there whose name was Fred. Like, that's his first name, right? And yeah, all right, so I get the procedure ready to go. All right, and then you go in and you tell the radiologist so that they can come in and do the procedure, which, I don't know. It was something in the GI, upper GI, small bowel, who knows what it was. Something in the GI system. That doesn't make any difference, really. The point is that I went in there. He's sitting at the light board when I go in, and there's another doctor in there who I got to be really good friends with. Anyway, it took the second doctor to explain this to him because he was livid. This doctor had a kind of a reputation for not really liking the x-ray techs in the first place. Okay. Especially ones like me. That, when I say that, I mean kind of smart alecky, sarcastic, funny. Always trying to be the clown, right? Class clown here. So he didn't appreciate me or my humor. I come waltzing in there and I'm like, room 2, ready, Freddy? Oh my gosh, he comes so unglued. He started yelling at me in front of a couple of other techs and this other radiologist that was in there. And he was like, I think I have earned respect. You will call me Dr. blah, blah, blah. And, you know, you do not disrespect me like that. The other doctor finally looks at him and he goes, Fred, it's a saying. Ready, Freddy? She doesn't even know your name is Fred. He was kind of embarrassed, but because of that, he really didn't like me. Made it really hard on me. Now I'm going to use that Lancome bronzer. I'm sorry, I love this. And I just washed this, so there you go. That's how much it picks up. I love this bronzer. Bronzer's something you gotta kind of like spend some time with it so you get a feel for it. I've been using the Charlotte Tilbury ever since it came out, her new airbrush one. So, you know, I can have accidents with bronzer real easy, thinking that it's the same thing as the Charlotte. But this is beautiful. I love this. Anyway, we did become friends later, but it took something bad happening. The reason that we became friends was because I think he wanted to make sure he didn't get sued, is what it was. Now I'm going to take the Rephr 24 and come into this SydneyGrace blush. This is called Belle of Georgia. And I'm just going to skate that right over the top of my cheeks. That's really pretty. You see, if you look at it though, it looks too pale, right? But you can see it's really got this payoff to it, doesn't it? I really like it. Pretty! It's so pretty! Now I'm going to take my Revlon. This is in shade 410, and it's a peachy kind of lipstick here. All right, and I always mix these two. I don't know why, I just always have. It's just a habit. This is Lancome's Champagne. And I just love the way these two look together. So when I pull out one, I pull out the other. This is my Wet n Wild powder box for brows. And I don't know what this says. 20 something. This is the BK Beauty tiny little brush that does an excellent job with powder in the brows, I think. I turn it upside down so that I'm coming up with it when I make the, yeah. Oh, that's a long hair. Anyway, what happened was when you do a small bow, I do know what this one was because of the tool that is involved here. When you do or did, they probably don't even do this at all anymore, but when you did a small bow x-ray, they want to move that barium all around in there so that they can see and spread it out, so they need a compression tool to press on it. There's like a balloon on the end of this thing and you pump it up and then it's, you know, radiolucent, so you can like press down on the stomach and take pictures. So he has this tool, and the department needed to buy another one, but quite frankly, they didn't do that x-ray enough and need that tool enough to find it to be a priority. Okay, and what was happening was there was a small leak around where the balloon on it is. Okay, so it's like a paddle with a balloon that gets pumped up on the end. The air would leak out of it, and so it was making him mad because he'd get to the point where he wanted to do the examination, you know, press down, and we're messing with radiation. I mean, he was justified in this. The hospital had enough funding to decorate the entire hospital with Christmas lights and trees everywhere. We can't afford a new compression tool. Anyway, so he's mad because he's pumping air into this thing, but by the time he gets in position to use it, the air is leaked out. So now he can't, you know, he's got to stop and do it again. Well, he gets mad. I'm on the other side of the fluoro table because I'm talking to the patient. Because, you know, it's not a pleasant examination, and I like to talk to them. You know, you got any kids, blah, 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 try and take their mind off of it. So I'm on the other side of the table, and I'm talking to the patient, and he just loses it. Okay? And he takes that paddle and he throws it, and when he did, it hit me. After that, you know, he stomps out of the room, and I'm just like standing there like, what just happened? I think the student went and got my boss, and my boss was like, did Dr. So-and-so like throw this and hit you? I'm like, I think my face just ran into it. I don't want to get him in, you know, because we have to work together, and, you know, he'll feel bad in a little bit. Well, he did feel bad, okay? He felt so bad that he became like my best friend there. It turns out he was having some horrible medical issues at home, not him, but at home. So I was like, it's okay, don't do it again. After that, we became really great friends. And now we're going to get Peach Harvest. I'm going to take my E46. He was really funny. That man never ate anything but salad. I never saw him eat anything except for salad. And when he retired, I wanted to get him a cake and have a party in the department, you know, for him, except he doesn't eat anything but salad, right? So this was really special. I had a baker. Now this was before Duff or all these cake makers that, you know, make these extraordinary cakes on TV. This was before anyone had ever seen anything like this, so this was really spectacular. Anyway, I had this baker bake this cake that looked like a salad. I don't even know where I would begin to look to see if I could find those pictures, but I wish I did because I'd like to show it to you. It was spectacular, and he ate it. Oh, Freddy was so impressed with that cake that he actually ate some of the cake. And that was a big deal because everyone knew that he didn't eat anything except for salad. Okay, I'm going to do my eyeliner, mascara, and my hair. And then I'll come back and tell you what I used to finish out my eye look. All right? Yeah, all right. I hope that you know that you are the best part of the Fritzy family. And if you're not having a blessed day, just go out and be a blessing to somebody else. And until next time, love you, see ya. Bye. And I'm out.
Well, I've been sitting here for 10 minutes looking for my Sigma eye primer. Sigma! Sigma! You know, like Stella. Stella! Sigma! Sigma! Ooh, we're gonna go through this again. I can never get this open. So, I'm wearing Peachy today. No! My SydneyGrace palette! Cause that SydneyGrace is, good. Good. That's what SydneyGrace is. Good. Pulling out the glitzy Fritzy Essential Eye Set. Oh, that kind of tickles. Wish I was an Oscar Mayer wiener. That is what I truly like to be. Cause if I was an Oscar Mayer wiener, everyone would be in love with me. Why is that? Are you in love with a wiener? They're all just floating around in my head, randomly sparking off now, you know? Like, I'm such a nut. But sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Glitzy Fritzy's got a nut. The McDonald's one that I always remember the most is 2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and sesame seed bun. That was kind of fast. What if we speed that up? How would that sound sped up? 2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and sesame seed bun. And faster? And make the pitch higher. Ooh, don't look at the mirror like this. It's like, oh, that messes with your eyes big time. One big, one little. Ride a horse, save a cowboy. No, that's the opposite. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. Don't mind if I do. Okay, now. Alright. Oh, yeah, baby. Baby, baby. Baby, baby. Ooh, baby, baby. Baby, baby. Look at that shine. Look at that shine, baby. Ugh. Is that hard? That's what she said. I'm gonna use my wet hand. Ow! I just pinched myself with this box. Stroke me, stroke me, stroke, stroke, stroke me, stroke me. You got the brow, brother. But I hired a baker to bake a cake. Oh, that's my mom. She scared me. You know what she'd say? She'd say, "What were you doing? What were you doing that I scared you?"